Player rankings, let's get into it. Alisson Becker. I think Alisson, across the course of the 2 legs, was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was boss. I thought tonight he was really good in game. I think that first penalty, he should have probably saved it. And again, hindsight's great, but looking at things in terms of fine margins, you saved that first penalty in front of their fans, set the tone and let them know that you are a wall that will not be broken down. I think that changes the complexity of that penalty shootout. I'm not going to overly mark you down for that, because without your efforts in the first leg and within that second leg as well, we would not have even made it a penalty shootout. So for me, Alisson was boss. Say what you like, do what you want, but I think he was lower boss, yeah. But I genuinely think when you package it all up, you cannot take anything away from Alisson Becker's performances over the last 180 odd minutes in a penalty shootout for Liverpool Football Club. Brilliant goalkeeper, and I just think he has to be given his flowers still. It's difficult, it's a hard one to take, and it does feel like a sucker punch and a blow. But I've got to just call it how I see it. I hope the chat agrees. Mark O'Donnell does. He says Ali was boss. Boss for sure. Yeah, that's all good. I've got high sound. Was a low boss today. The first pen was not easy to say. Yeah, I think his footwork lets him down there. It's like he gets stuck in the mud a little bit. Trent Alexander-Arnold, over the course of 2 legs, I thought he was brilliant. I know he goes off injured, but again, he's another one for me. Tonight, especially in that second half, he really stepped up. And I genuinely felt like if anybody was going to produce us a moment of magic, it might have actually been Trent with some of his deliveries. I genuinely think there would have been something in it for him. He goes off because he has that desire to try and block a player and close him down. And I think he's very unlucky the way he lands on his ankle or his knee very awkwardly. But again, for me, he didn't really put a foot wrong. He was really up for the battle. There was the desire there. Again, I genuinely thought he was about to take the game by the scruff of the neck in that second half, and he looked brilliant. People are saying he was sound. He was not boss. He was mid-sound. I genuinely thought in that second half he was really turning it up. People are saying lower boss, running the second half of the game. Yeah, Connor, a couple of sounds there. Colin Campbell says he was sound, not boss. Terence, I thought he was lower. Michaela, again, I agree with you, girl. Mid-sound, Gareth Smythe says, was very good. I'm not going to be overly critical. I say I'm trying to be as balanced as I possibly can. Here we go. Ibu. Again, it's hard because, again, it's fine margins. The reason that we're out of this Champions League is because we've just played the best team in Europe, took them to penalties over the course of 180 minutes, and we've lost out by really fine margins. To say the lads haven't put in boss performances to have at least done that as an achievement is really harsh. But then there are the big moments when in those big moments you have to be perfect, and we simply wasn't perfect tonight. Ibu fell victim to that in the fact that he wasn't perfect, and I know he's trying to firefight, which we've seen him do so well so many times, but unfortunately the desire to firefight in this instance, possibly at Liverpool's best moment in the whole tie, really came back to bite us on the arse. And I just think he was sound. He didn't lose his head after that. He didn't look shaky, but he was just sound thereafter. I don't think it was a great performance there for it. People are saying Ibu was boss, sound. I thought I played a hand in their goal. He did. The goal was on him no matter what. And again, I think that's true. It's mad to think that PSG nearly missed out on qualifying. Yeah, crazy. Sound, unfortunately, rough mistake, but it can't happen in game. Yeah, hopefully he'll be fine. Let's be honest, PSG aren't the best team. That's why tonight is so concerning. I don't know, write them off at your own, you know what I mean, at your own peril, because I think they've got a very good chance. Richard says Kanate was boss. Am I being a bit too harsh on Kanate? I don't know. I don't know if I am being harsh. I'm trying to be fair. I think he was a high sound. And again, I'm just trying to look at it from a perspective of it's the fine margins as to why. If we go through, everybody's boss, but by default we didn't go through, and there's people that are culpable of us not going through. And as a result of that, it's kind of got to be reflected in the scores somewhat. And I just think, obviously it's a tough one. He's definitely not the worst player for me, but I think there was moments there where I just think he was just unlucky. And as a result, yeah, sorry about that. Verge, he's another one for me. I don't think we got a real captain's performance out of Verge. I think the defending was really... It's hard to say because there's not really one where he's like one-on-one and he has to really put somebody on... He does put someone on his ass, that Barcola, he closes the door. I think he does that quite well, to be fair. I think he closes the door a couple of times on a couple of the lads and just stops them from progressing into the box. There's a couple of good blocks and putting his body on the line. He reads the game really well. But again, for me, everyone's just saying sound. Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that it was just sound because, to me, it wasn't leading from the front and it wasn't that aggression that just makes you think, actually, yeah, he's setting a tempo and he's trying to grab the game by the scruff of the neck either. And I seen Ibu after his mistake, he tried to run into midfield a couple of times and Verge wanted to stay at home and just kind of keep calm and everything. And I don't know. It's hard to say because he's an absolutely brilliant footballer. Do you know what I mean? Who am I to be able to critique what he does on the pitch? Because, again, I'm not a footy player in any way, shape or form. But, again, with those fine margins, there are moments where you just want someone like him to be your leader, to be imperious, to just be that calm and presence, either the calm and presence or just say, pop up with a big Sergio Ramos moment or something like that that just says I can still take the game by the scruff of the neck myself, and it lacked that for me. So for me, he's another one that is probably just a little bit above Canate in that sound, touching on boss kind of, category. Andy Robertson, birthday boy, definitely not the birthday ending that he was hoping for. It's a hard one because, again, I don't think he was the worst player. I think he played well at times, Robbo. And again, I thought from a defensive standpoint, I think the fullbacks were probably our better defenders today, if I'm being honest with you. I know I've got people saying low sound, you're messing. Attackers danced on him. The left back needs fixing. I think it has been a concern for us all season, but I think in a big moment like tonight, I think he stood up when he was called upon, really. And I thought going forward as well, there was a couple of moments where he looked a little bit tired. I'll admit that. But there was some others where he made some really good runs and he really did offer something. Again, I think he's in and around the realms of just, is he high sound? I don't know. Maybe I have to kind of bring Trent down a little bit here and just the back line's looking a little bit like that from my work dad. He thought he did well. Yeah, I've got people thought Trent was Robbo was boss. Boss people falling for the narrative. Yeah, I think it's too easy to kind of scapegoat him. Sound, he was all right. He is what he is. It's his last season. Yeah, you can see that in him. Low sound. There's no way. Gustavo, maybe. I think it is really hard. We're splitting hairs. I'm looking at it and I'm like, we are splitting hairs between these now. And again, that's just kind of what I've gone for. And again, I'm not trying to beat them over the stick too much because I'm already gutted. I'm tired. I've been in work since bells this morning. I'm still here tonight. So cut me some slack, cut them some slack. It is what it is. The midfield, though, I'll safely say this, yeah. I'm just going to bunch them all together. And I think all of the midfielders were boss tonight. He ran his absolute socks off. He sets it up on a plate. Makes a great run. And that's what we missed, really, those late runs into the box, crashing it into the box. I think all three of them, Gravenberch reading the game, screening, doing really well. People saying Gravenberch was shocking. I don't know what you're thinking. I genuinely don't know what you're thinking with that, because the amount of work that they had to get through, the press that they had to get through, the winning the ball back, compared to last week when we just couldn't string two passes together to actually be able to build up play. We had the majority of the ball. We was playing better footy than PSG for large parts of it as well. In the second half, people are saying Grav wasn't boss, right? Sound. Cool. So poor, right? Sound. Okay. So you guys don't think Gravenberch was boss. Give me a reason why then. Explain it to me. Don't just say boss, not boss, you're messing. Tell me what he didn't do to... I've got people saying Szoboszlai, Maka and Grav, all of you messing. Why? I don't get it. He looked tired, and I do agree. Oh, he's been run into the ground, and this has been something that a lot of people have been suggesting. Okay, so was he sound then? Because I'm up for the debate. I'm genuinely up for the debate. Hardly won a duel. Anyone got his duel stats there that they can get us dead quick? Because obviously I'm doing this. Nothing Grav didn't contribute too much at all. I think all three were straddling. Boss for the block though. I thought that boss was that block was boss just on its fucking own, but clearly it wasn't enough for some of you. Can't make some of you happy. We were cut through in the midfield, yeah. That midfield, that first one was disappointing. I agree, Liverpool won the midfield battle today. This is why he was better in the second leg. I thought he was better in the second leg, genuinely. But no, that first goal, the block and the first goal gets cancelled out by the lack of midfield. Okay, fair enough. So what are we saying then? Can't even pass long with no pressure. The ball for their goal was because we left a massive gap. Grav was at least high sound, maybe could have done more, mid to high sound. What are we settling on? I think he ran his absolute socks off. The midfield, let's be honest, he absolutely ran himself into the ground for us today. No, there was some lovely touches in the midfield, some nice passes, a little bit of composure as well. Maka as well, putting his body on the line, taking one for the team. Grav only won 30% of his duels, okay. And we didn't see much of the Gravenberch thing go. So he's had a really good season, one-off game. Can we say it was like a mid-sound then? Low sound? Is that okay? Genuinely, is that okay? Are we happy? Right. And then let's go to the front three in... Where are my front three? Here they are, yeah. Salah, again for me, was sound. Nothing special. Jota and Diaz. Again, I'm not trying to be overly critical, but that's where I'm putting them. I think. Someone said you're all messing. Well, yeah, do you know what? We're at home and we don't score a goal. Are you messing? Are you taking the piss? What are we doing? We're at home. Home field advantage, and we have 19 odd shots, 2-3 on target, and none of your killers want to step up. I can accept that. Are you messing there? Yeah. My Diaz agenda is crazy. Yeah, I'm not his biggest fan. I'm not arsed. Are we through to the next round of the Champions League? No, we're not. Who had one of the best chances in the game? What did he do with it? Shit as kecks is what he did with it. So don't start with me, because I'm genuinely not in the mood. So, like, I am a Diaz hater. People say Diaz was our best player. He turned up in the second half for 20 minutes. 20 minutes out of a 180-minute double-legged game. What are we doing? You think that's good enough? Was there a goal? Was there an assist? Was there anything of any real substance or output coming from that man? No, there wasn't. So what are we doing? What do we want from our players? You're saying that you're slandering Mo Salah for not doing anything, but at least Mo Salah turns up and he gives us output almost game in, game out. Diaz dances around and leaves the ball behind him and leaves it trailing under his feet, falls over his own feet, runs into players, turns back on himself. I'm not doing this with you. If you haven't seen it for yourselves by now, you're never going to see it, and that's fine. Like who you like, I like who I like. I just know what I want from my winger is output. I want people to be able to put it on a plate, and I want people to be able to test the goalkeeper and be brave when they're in the box. He does not cut it for me. Sorry. That's the end of it. That is the end of it. That's the top and bottom. All skill, no output. People can kick off. I do not care. I genuinely do. Look, I'm not even arguing with you, right? It's late. I want to go to bed. I've had a long day. And we'll get on to the subs now. Where are they? Quansah was boss. Came on, stepped up. I was worried for him. He did his thing. Curtis Jones gutted for the pen in real game time. I thought he did okay. He was just sound. Not a very good sound, though, because obviously you missed the pen. Cody Gakpo just doesn't look fit right now. So it's like, are you messing? Why couldn't we put somebody else on the pitch? Harvey Elliott, again, came on, didn't really have much of an impact. Again, think he was soundish, not good enough. And then obviously Darwin Núñez. And he's someone that I do like. So all those people saying about, I've got an agenda this, I've got an agenda that, he was in, are you messing as well? It's not that deep. It's genuinely not that deep. You need to get your heads out of your asses. Remember that Liverpool are on the way to winning a Premier League and we've got a final on Sunday. There are still a bigger picture that we need to look at. It's not all doom and gloom, but we have to look at this firing line here. These guys here is a big summer. Liverpool have got some massive decisions to make because these aren't all going to be in the picture on this board in a year's time, and I'm okay with that. Endo, sorry, yeah, I missed an Endo. Endo, sound, came on, did his thing. We don't concede, as always, whenever he comes on the pitch, we don't concede goals. So, yeah, there isn't any firepower at this moment in time. Salah has carried this team to a Premier League medal. He said he was going to do it. Thank you very much, Mohamed Salah. You have almost brought us to the brink of that. These guys have got us and brought us to a League Cup final. Fantastic. But when it mattered most, when you need your backup dancers and your supporting act to chip in and contribute, the only person that stepped up over the 180 was Harvey Elliott, a maligned player that's hardly been given a sniff. These lads have been getting game time anytime they've been available and fit. Not good enough. Sorry, I'm not having it. And as for Arne Slot, today, you got it wrong. You got it wrong, Gaffer. I think you haven't got it wrong much, but today you got it wrong, and I am gutted. I am devastated because I wanted to see what your European acumen like. How are you going to navigate Europe? And we're not even really going to get the opportunity to see it because as soon as you come up against a real juggernaut when there's something at stake, yeah, the group games when people can kind of drop the guard a little bit and do a little bit of sparring and all the rest of it sound. You navigated it expertly. But when it comes to the crunch time and it comes to those heavyweight duels, you've proved that you underestimated the task. And that's as far and as extreme as I'm going to go because, again, I don't even want to be on your neck. You've brought me a fantastic season, but there are still levels to this. And I hope going forward you understand that when you were the manager of Liverpool Football Club, there is an expectation that you can guide us towards European, wins and W's and medals and honours. And that is going to be something that next year you're going to have to fight those demons all over again, and you're going to have to get past this stage, and this can't be the monkey on your back that you struggle to overcome just because you get the Premier League bly. So, again, I'm disappointed, but I'm not going to cuss you too much because you've been a great manager for us this season. So, on the whole, excellent, but on tonight's performance, the way you set up for pens, a little bit naive. I genuinely thought you could have done it. You just could have done it a little bit differently, lad. And you put faith in certain players that I wouldn't put faith in, but that's fine. You work with them every day. Do you get me? And I just hope that you know that I'm not on your case. I just want you to also understand that next year is a massive year because you're going to get the grace period now. Go out there and put it on the table, your demands this summer. They have to back you. Them lads there, they're not it, bro. They are not going to get you European silverware. Did you see what they had? Did you see the weapons they had up top? And I know they only scored one goal as well, but they had our defence stressed. They had to defend for their lives with 180. So, look, I'm not even... yeah, right. Anyway, cool. I can't put you up there by boss. You're just going to have to slot in there. Slot in. What are we doing? What are we doing? Slot doesn't even want to take part in any of this. Slot there and thereabouts. He's doing the whole John Cena, you can't see me bullshit. But yeah, that's been the player rankings. Unfortunately, Liverpool do not progress to the next round of the Champions League. It is a difficult one to take. It feels like a sucker punch. But, do you know what? Up the Reds, because we've got a League Cup final to come and we're on the brink of bringing home number 20 in the Premier League. So there is still plenty to smile about, even if tonight is going to send me home in tears. Good night. God bless.